Hey everybody, Nightmare on Kelp Street back, and today we're going to be going over Imaginal disc by Magdalena. This is an album that was a pretty incredible listen to me this year, honestly. It's still in my top 10, if not like top 15 albums of the year I've heard this year. And I would say because all the singles gave me just as much as I wanted leading into the album, if not more, than when I got the full album itself. Like, it paid off. Like, sometimes you'll hear singles for an album, or you'll hear lead up for an album, and you're like, I'm getting excited, and I don't want my hopes to be crushed. And you get in the album, and you're fed even more than you expected. And this is exactly how I felt about this rollout. Our main singles for this album this time are Imagine, track number 4, Death and Romance, track number 5, track number 12, That's My Floor, and I'm pretty sure track number 9, Tunnel Vision. Tunnel Vision was the first one. I've covered a few of these songs on my YouTube shorts, things like that. So I highly recommend going back and kind of checking out those like mini reviews and the singles. But Tunnel Vision was the first song I had heard off this that I'd heard the term pop prog, like progressive rock, but in pop form. And Tunnel Vision gives that vibe distinctly and just so encapsulates that feeling of, it's like a 5.5 minute song, close to 6 minutes, I believe. But each 30 seconds, each minute, it just layers and layers and layers till you get to the end. The last minute and a half is such a cacophonous, like, wall of sound. Solid wall of sound. Look up Tribe Called Quest last album. We got it from here. Thank you for your service. Another song that gives kind of a wall of sound feel to it and really kind of encapsulates that. It's like you're being surrounded by sound and the production. Before I get too deep in the video here, I'll say at the front end, remember to like, comment, subscribe if you like this video, if you like my content, whether through this video or through YouTube Shorts or anything. If you just follow, if this is like one of the first videos you see by me, and this is one of the first times you've heard my voice or seen a video by me at all, thank you so much for being here. I usually cover like album reviews, single reviews, EPs. Sometimes I'll cover music-based movies. I'm gonna slowly start getting more into like video games, that type of media, but this channel will always be like a music-focused channel. So, you know, if you see kind of some videos out there, there'll be a little kind of straying from the topic, like the Halsey movie review I did in this channel. It was because it related to music in some way. So that's kind of the main focus of this channel, is doing some kind of music breakdowns and reviews for things that let's do that are usually new. Usually things that came out in 2024 this year, if not was in the previous year, like other queer artists I really love, or other non-binary artists I really love. So today, we'll start from the beginning here, and going from the top. She Looked Like Me is one of the weirder tracks they've ever made, and putting it as the intro definitely stood out to me. It's kind of giving us this narrative about how, if you watch the music videos through all the main singles, the 4 main singles, like, there's like this angel version of our main singer girl and the demon version. And what it feels like from the story of this album as it goes on, like track number 1, She Looked Like Me, is like the 2 versions fighting each other, like setting up the fight and the dynamic of how they're treating each other and how they can't get along. Killing Time kind of gives us that slowdown of just a very melodic, always killing time. But the final 30 seconds to minute gives us kind of the breakdown of her talking about, like, we always have time to kill, but there's never time. I never feel like there's time for me. Like, I have to take care of myself. Then we get another kind of easy break with a True Blue interlude, leading into our first single, Image, which I find a lot of like religious parallels and imagery in it. Even before it kind of gives the last verse, kind of in chorus, kind of gives up the main plot, where she's like, it'll all be clear in a second, and the last chorus plays and she says, oh my God, make me in your image, oh God, through a 2-way mirror. So it kind of gives away, like, through the whole song she's saying like, oh my God, and it reflects onto the title of the song, Image, like make me in your image. But through like the phrasing of, I grew up in a very Christian state, in a very Christian environment and culture. And there's always this sometimes spoken but usually unspoken type of rule of like God's watching. And the 2-way mirror aspect of that at the end of the song kind of gives me like, God created man, and man can't see God, but if you believe in Christianity and God, then most people believe that God can see you, but you just can't see back, like a 2-way mirror. So that, through kind of dissection of this single, I've kind of have picked up the plot line of what's going on here, and the messaging that we have through like naming it what it is in the chorus. Then Death and Romance. A little over 5-minute song, gorgeous song, one of my favorite songs of the year. I love the line, "Nothing is fair in death and romance." I think that's such a poignant line to really focus in on as a chorus. And I love how track number 5 and 6 lead back into each other through a flow of death and romance, fear, sex, fear, sex. This is honestly the chunk of the album I don't remember as much looking through the track list, but I'm still kind of revisiting it because it's like dead center of the album. Vampire in the Corner and Watching TV are both gorgeous songs. Watching TV is probably my favorite out of these two. Have I said that? I'll kind of interject here and say the genre of this album is like indie, alternative pop, electronic, experimental, a bit noisy at times. It's a bit harsh in some sections, but it's good. It really plays into the weirdness of itself, which leads us into Tunnel Vision, one of the weirdest songs on the album next to the intro, and how like it starts out as a kind of smooth electronic pop indie ballad, like pretty simple. But as we hit like the 2.5 minute mark, like things just start stacking. Like we get weird drums and we get these weird synthy beats that kind of just like start melding into each other when the final like minute or so like click, and you're like, oh, the only things like fit together. They just felt disjointed because they were introduced in different points, which was such a genius idea for a song. Next is going to be Love is Everywhere, Feeling Disconcerted. Well, only 2 interludes on there. But together, these are about 4-ish minutes. Love is Everywhere is a very cute title and sentiment for the song. I think it's an adorable song. Parts of this album get very wholesome to me, and I really appreciate that and need that some days. Then we have Cry For Me, another one of the longest songs on here, one of the only 2 or 3 that are 5 minutes long. And this one's probably one of the biggest slowdowns on the album to me. But it's good. I feel like at this point there's been a lot of noise and a lot of harsh things that it was kind of well needed for me at this point to have a long song that kind of takes the first 3 minutes to kind of build up into the more heavier parts of it, and kind of give you this payoff by the last like 2 minutes or so. Then we have Angel on a Satellite and the Ballad of Matt and Micah, which, if you don't know, Matt and Micah are the 2 people that make up Magdalena Bay. Matt on the production usually and some backup vocals, and Micah the main singer. Yeah, I mean, kind of looking through this album, it's sometimes I feel like it's hard to put into words on some of these good reviews I do. I'm like, God, this album is so good, I don't know how to express to you any more than I already have through like my rants and my kind of quick breakdowns of the singles or the videos themselves. Like, through everything I've said here, I still don't feel like I've encompassed how fucking good this album is. It's roughly, let's see, it's like roughly under an hour, about 53 minutes long, a little over 53 minutes, like close to 54 minutes. But I would highly suggest this album. I mean, it's an incredible listen. If you're into any of the main genres I mentioned today, like indie, pop, electronic, anything like that, highly suggest it. Just remember to like, comment, subscribe again. I'll say that if you like the video. Stick around. I'll have a lot more shorts coming out than I will main channel videos. I'll just say that ahead of time. But I'm still planning on dropping at least 1 video a week, even if it's not like my Thursday, Friday wrap-ups. Like last week I might have missed it, but things happen, and it wasn't enough really out to really impress me to the way I wanted, or things I didn't finish. So I'm at least have 1 out every other week. That'd be my goal for right now. And I'll kind of put this out for the in-between times. So, you know, anything that comes up that I'm really loving, I'll have it out for you. If I'm really hating, like the Eminem or the Eminem album or the Kanye album, you'll hear about it. You know, if I really love it, if I really hate it, you'll hear both sides of the spectrum. But I wanted to bring an album I really love today, just kind of do a palate cleanser for some of the most recent listens, like Falling in Reverse, Eminem, Kanye album. You know, sometimes it's good to get something really good out that you're like, damn, this has really impressed me. So yeah, I'll see y'all soon. Love you, kelpies. One of my last comments here will be comment what you've been listening to, either whether new, old, whatever. If it's new, I'll probably get to it faster. I'll say that. And yeah, bye, kelpies.